Namaskar. The rupee has fallen to an all-time low versus the dollar, around 77 rupees and 16 paisa. What does this mean? It means that money is leaving India and it is leaving at a torrid pace. This is the big picture. That's one reason. The other reason is India is importing more than it is exporting. That could also cause a weakening of the rupee. Now, the finance ministry closely guards the secret as to how it computes this dollar to rupee exchange ratio. They say there's a basket of currencies, but if you ask anybody, nobody will give you the actual formula because evidently it gets tweaked all the time, and somehow this is considered a secret sauce of the finance ministry or the RBI, and they just don't reveal this. It should be transparent. There is no big deal about it. People should be able to find out what should be the exchange rate based on some macro parameters. Like, for example, RBI publishes M1 and M3, this velocity of money, and M3, I don't remember what the factor is, but these two parameters, you can find out how much money is circulating in the economy, and from that you can kind of get an idea about the amount of industrial activity that is going on. So more importantly, how does the government reverse itself? How does it come back and gain ground? In the history of India, India has never let or allowed its rupee to appreciate over a long term. It will appreciate for a few weeks sometimes, and then there'll be a furore because all the exporters will say, oh my God, we can't anymore export, we can't be competitive, and again the government will allow it to slide. So these kind of things happen, but the long-term policy should be to firm up the rupee at a certain point and keep it there for 5 years. That's the best way to manage this. But then I've said this thing many times, many others have said this thing many times. It has fallen on deaf ears. Clearly, somebody thinks they know more than the collective wisdom of several Harvard professors and financial analysts who have said that India's policy about how it manages its exchange rate is questionable. Okay, let's set the thing aside. For more importantly, where did the money go? Now, people in the know are saying that the systematic investment plans where the foreign portfolio investors had invested money, all that money has now left India. And the numbers estimated are between 1 lakh crores to 5 lakh crores. You take the middle number, say 3 lakh crores. 3 lakh crores, mota, if you do that you divide by 7, that comes to close to $40 billion. $40 billion of money has gone out. However, you can turn around and say, well, India has a foreign exchange reserve of upwards of 540 or 600, something in that ballpark. Surely, when the rupee started having a run, the RBI could have stepped in and shored up the rupee. Well, we don't know why they did not do it. I can't expect much out of a history major who's now the RBI governor to have any kind of wisdom on how to manage this stuff. Better people have failed to do it. However, all these things is all shrouded in secrecy. Not just NDA, even before in the UPA government, they never tell you how these things are happening. Best thing, in my opinion, is to make the Indian rupee fully convertible. Then what happens is you can take money in and out anytime. After all, most of the participatory notes are allowing the foreign investors to treat it like hot money. So that is essentially what it is. It is fully convertible. They can take the money out anytime they want. Unfortunately, now what is going to happen is that one thing will trigger another, and you might start seeing money go out from the stock markets also. Remember, India's stock markets are very shallow. It doesn't take very long for the markets to start suffering steep losses. Now, all your systematic investment plans are probably going to be under pressure. You'll start seeing your mutual funds take a dip because so much money has left and there is nothing to supplant it. Therefore, the reinvestment there's no money coming in. So there is going to be some turbulence there, and how the investors are going to wade through it, I don't know. I don't know how many of you who are having money regularly deducted against your paychecks and SIPs are actually doing the homework to see which mutual funds are actually investing and playing with your money, what is the returns ratio, what is the load index. You need to know all these things. Only then you can find out what kind of a return you can expect. But I don't know if all of you are doing this or not. Certainly, I encourage you all to do it. More important thing, India can put down their heads and say, okay, where can I export? Certainly, there are two big opportunities for India: pharma, second is grains, especially wheat. So where can they export wheat? They can export wheat to all those countries which were getting it from Russia and Ukraine. Great opportunity, right? So how does India make use of it? Well, the amount of wheat it can produce is finite. It can't stretch its production. So what it needs to do is it needs to stop giving free rations by, say, September, 4 months to go, and start telegraphing very openly to the people that the free ride is going to stop. The reason this has to be done right now, that communication has to be done now, so that you prepare them to go back to what they were doing before the pandemic hit. You have this interesting problem in many of the industrialized cities, that they have demand coming back, but they don't have labor. There is a labor shortage. And how do you encourage the labor to go back to their previous jobs? Well, you wean them off of free food. That's one way to do it. US had a terrible time doing this, but I think now US has kind of got a grip on it, and I think India needs to follow, and they need to do it like right now. Only then what happens is you'll have wheat to export, plus you'll also have the labor joining back the workforce and helping those companies also start approving or executing their export orders. These are all needed to be done on a war footing, and I hope that the government has got its plans charted. They don't need to do a lot of stuff. All they need to do is telegraph that after September you will not have free rations, and also to encourage industries to say, okay, start reaching out to those people who used to work for you, and then encourage them to come back. I mean, they are always saying that we are not getting all the hands. So there's always a possibility that not everyone is going to come back. After all, Uttar Pradesh is industrializing at a rapid pace. So many who are from UP may prefer to just stay back in UP and work there. That's a possibility. It's all good for the country though. But the point here that I'm trying to make is, as much as possible, India needs to encourage its exports and also do more Atmanirbharta, so that the import bill, which is now I think at the all-time high vis-a-vis China, who is actually our aggressor, breathing down our neck, and India needs to have a $0 billion import from China. When will it achieve that? We don't know. Right now, everything that I'm using here is all made in China. My laptop is made in China. The photographic equipment I'm using is made in China. The web camera I'm using is made in China. The microphone I'm using is made in China. The stand on which everything stands is also made in China. So I should be the last one making all these excuses. But you have to start somewhere. And I'm hoping that now is a good time to do that. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. If you think that you got information from this video, please feel free to donate. There is a thanks button. There's a heart-shaped button, and you can click on that, and you can donate what you feel is something that you feel like it is worth watching these programs. We are trying to bring you 3 to 4 videos every day. And also, do not forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.